Today I want to address a misconception that keeps many men feeling frustrated and limited in their daily lives. The idea that an enlarged prostate is a one-way street, that urinary discomfort inevitably signals the decline of your best years, has been widely accepted, but it's only part of the story. While prostate size on a scan is one factor, what men experience day to day is influenced by multiple elements, including pressure, inflammation, pelvic tension, bladder sensitivity, hydration timing, and even subtle habits like the way we breathe and brace during urination. Understanding these elements is empowering, because many of the symptoms that feel unavoidable are actually influenced by mechanics and nervous system signals, which are trainable. Today, I want to share a simple 30-second habit that can be done right where you already are. One that can improve urinary flow, reduce the feeling of incomplete emptying, and calm nighttime urgency for many men faster than you might expect. This is not a miracle cure, but it is a practical way to work with your body, easing the pressure and restoring a sense of control. Understanding the real problem. Let's take a step back and look at the broader picture. The challenges most men face with urinary symptoms are rarely isolated. They are a combination of factors that slowly chip away at comfort and confidence. Nighttime wake-ups are one of the most common complaints. Men find themselves rising from sleep, often still half asleep, to make their way to the bathroom. Sometimes it happens once, sometimes multiple times, leaving sleep fragmented and mornings feeling heavy and unrefreshed. Daytime symptoms are just as disruptive. Men notice that the urinary stream isn't what it used to be, and in response, they tend to wait, push harder, tense their muscles, and experience that frustrating sensation of being done, only to find themselves needing to go again shortly after. Beyond the physical discomfort is the psychological stress. The quiet worry when away from home, the constant scanning for nearby restrooms, and the anxiety over long drives, restaurants, or meetings. This persistent background tension feeds a cycle where the nervous system remains activated, causing the pelvic floor to tighten, the abdomen to brace, and breathing to become shallow. These patterns make normal urination feel more difficult and exacerbate feelings of urgency and incomplete emptying. Why mechanics matter. Here's an important insight. Urinary discomfort is not solely about the size of the prostate. It's also about mechanics and how the body responds to stress and tension. Some men with modest enlargement may feel miserable, while others with larger measurements function surprisingly well. This difference often comes down to how the pelvic floor and surrounding muscles are working, or not working. When the pelvic floor is tight, the bladder and urethra face mechanical resistance, making emptying inefficient and increasing the sensation of urgency. When you add stress, shallow breathing, and bracing to the mix, symptoms compound. The good news is that by learning to relax these muscles, retrain the bladder-brain connection, and restore natural mechanics, many men can feel measurable relief without invasive interventions. Introducing the 30-second habit, long exhale release plus double empty. The habit I want to share is called the long exhale release with a double empty routine, and it has two key phases. The first phase focuses on relaxing the nervous system and pelvic outlet with a controlled, mindful exhale. The second phase allows the bladder a short pause to fully empty without strain. While simple in concept, this routine targets the mechanics that contribute to residual urine, irritation, tension, and hurried urination. It can be done in about 30 seconds longer than your usual routine, yet it addresses multiple drivers of urinary discomfort. Phase 1. The long exhale. Here's how to do the first phase. Before starting to urinate, take a gentle inhale through your nose for approximately 4 seconds, filling your lower ribs without straining. Then exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 to 8 seconds, as if fogging a mirror gently. As you exhale, soften your jaw, drop your shoulders, and let your belly relax. Imagine the base of your pelvis releasing downward, like an elevator descending slowly one floor. This is not a push, it is a release. Many men unconsciously hold their breath and brace when they approach the toilet, which works against flow. This long exhale primes the pelvic outlet for relaxation, allowing the bladder to do its job without additional tension from surrounding muscles. Phase 2. The double empty. After beginning urination with the body relaxed, allow the stream to start naturally, keeping your face, shoulders, and belly soft. Avoid pushing or rushing. If standing, keep your knees slightly bent and your weight balanced. If possible, try sitting for some bathroom visits, as this position can reduce pelvic floor tension and improve emptying. After finishing the main stream, do not immediately zip up and walk away. Instead, pause for a slow count of 10, exhaling again gently and imagining the same melting sensation at the base of the pelvis. Often, a small second release occurs, which helps reduce residual urine and the irritability it can cause. By practicing this double empty consistently, many men notice a decrease in repeat trips, less urgency, and calmer nighttime voiding. Why this habit helps? Mechanically, the habit reduces pressure on the prostate, bladder, and surrounding tissues. Straining increases irritation and congestion, while releasing and allowing gentle flow reduces mechanical stress, helping tissues calm and gradually decreasing swelling. Beyond mechanics, this habit supports the bladder-brain connection. Urgency is not only a plumbing issue, but also a signaling issue. When the bladder is irritated, stressed, or partially full, sensory nerves send amplified messages to the brain. A long exhale signals safety to the nervous system, reducing urgency, spasm, and tension. Over time, men often notice smoother streams, fewer repeat trips, and less nighttime disturbance, along with a calmer baseline that makes daily life more comfortable. Common mistakes to avoid. When it comes to improving urinary comfort, small details matter, and avoiding common mistakes can make a huge difference. One of the most frequent errors is pushing during urination, especially during the exhale portion of the 30-second habit. Many men have unconsciously learned to brace or bear down as a reflex to get it out, but this creates tension in the pelvic floor and abdomen, which actually hinders flow and leaves residual urine behind. Instead, focus on gentle release, letting the bladder do the work without extra force. Think of it as giving your body permission to cooperate, rather than commanding it to perform. A third mistake is treating the routine like a performance. Men often focus on counting perfectly or doing it right, but the goal is not perfection, it's relaxation. The counts are just tools to guide breathing, but the true measure of success is how your body feels. If your abdomen softens, your jaw releases tension, and your pelvic floor opens, you are doing it correctly, regardless of the seconds on the clock. Constipation is another factor often overlooked in discussions about urinary comfort. When the bowel is backed up, it presses against the bladder and can worsen urgency or make emptying feel incomplete. Supporting regular bowel habits with adequate hydration, fiber, and gentle movement can significantly improve bladder mechanics and make the 30-second habit more effective. Think of it as clearing space for your bladder and pelvic floor to work optimally. Finally, late-night fluid intake can sabotage progress if not monitored. Even with perfect mechanics, drinking large amounts of fluids late in the evening, especially alcohol, caffeinated beverages, or sugary drinks, can overload the bladder, triggering wake-ups. The habit doesn't stop fluid from filling the bladder, but it helps the body manage what's already there more efficiently. By pairing fluid awareness with the relaxation routine, you can achieve noticeable reductions in nighttime urgency. Supporting habits for maximum comfort. The 30-second routine is powerful on its own, but it works best when paired with supporting habits that address other aspects of urinary comfort. Gentle walking after meals is a simple yet effective practice. A 10-minute stroll promotes circulation, improves glucose stability, and reduces pelvic congestion, all of which can ease bladder irritation. This isn't about weight loss or exercise performance. It's about letting the body function with optimal fluid and blood flow in the pelvic region. Caffeine timing also plays a role. Many men assume they can handle coffee or tea at any time, only to find that urgency increases later in the day. Shifting caffeine to the morning or early afternoon allows the bladder to settle in the evening, reducing nocturnal trips. This small adjustment can dramatically improve sleep quality for men who have otherwise followed the mechanics routine consistently. Adding a brief daily breathing reset outside the bathroom can reinforce the nervous system's relaxation and help maintain pelvic comfort throughout the day. Inhale gently for 4 seconds. Exhale for 6 to 8 seconds. Soften the belly and jaw, and notice the release at the base of the pelvis. Even 2 minutes a day can reduce baseline tension, making the body more receptive to the 30-second routine and reducing overall stress-related bladder activation. Warmth is another simple but effective tool. A warm shower, bath, or a compress on the lower abdomen and inner hips encourages muscles to relax, improves local blood flow, and reduces tension in the pelvic floor. This is especially helpful on days when you feel extra tightness or after prolonged sitting. These additional strategies are not medical treatments, but physiological supports that enhance the mechanics of urination and overall comfort. Real-life stories. Putting theory into practice often resonates most when we hear real-life examples. Take Daniel, for example, a 67-year-old who had started structuring his entire day around restroom access. Daniel was a pusher, believing that effort was necessary to empty fully. Initially, he felt skeptical about the long exhale release, thinking it might be too simple to work. Within days of trying it, he noticed something surprising. The stream started more smoothly, without straining. Within 2 weeks, his frequent repeat trips decreased significantly. The physical improvements were notable, but the mental relief was just as profound. He no longer found himself scanning every building or planning routes around bathroom access. That sense of freedom, no longer constrained by constant urgency, was life-changing for him. Then there's Javier, 72, whose main concern was nighttime wake-ups, which left him exhausted and made him feel older than he was. Javier implemented the double empty routine before bed and adjusted his evening habits, including moving his herbal tea to earlier in the evening. Over the course of a month, he reduced wake-ups from 3 times a night to 1, and his energy and focus improved during the day. He described feeling like a younger, more present version of himself because sleep quality had returned and his bladder felt calmer. Robert, 61, faced a different challenge. His issue wasn't difficulty starting a stream, it was tension and rushing throughout daily life. He would go to the bathroom, push, leave, and soon feel urgency again. By incorporating the long exhale, sitting when possible, and allowing a pause for a second release, he noticed that emptying became smoother and less stressful. He described the sensation as calmer down there, highlighting how relaxation can transform both physical and emotional experiences. These stories illustrate that improvements in urinary comfort aren't just about anatomy. They're about cooperation with the body, attention to mechanics, and fostering a calm nervous system. When to seek medical help. While habits and mechanics can support many men, there are important situations where professional evaluation is necessary. Certain symptoms should never be ignored. Blood in the urine, fever, burning pain, sudden inability to urinate, unexplained weight loss, severe back pain, or rapidly worsening urinary symptoms all require immediate medical attention. Even men who are already receiving treatment for an enlarged prostate or other urinary conditions can benefit from the relaxation routine. But it should be used in coordination with a licensed healthcare provider who knows their history and treatment plan. Never rely solely on exercises or habits when warning signs appear. The goal of these habits is to complement medical care, reduce strain, and enhance comfort, not replace professional evaluation. Making the habits stick. The key to long-term success is consistency, not perfection. Think of the 30-second routine as basic hygiene for your nervous system and pelvic outlet, something you do every time without pressure or judgment. Over time, each repetition reinforces the body's ability to relax and release, reducing tension in the pelvic floor, improving emptying, and lowering urgency. This approach creates measurable improvement in both physical comfort and confidence, allowing men to regain a sense of control over a process that may have felt unpredictable for years. Many men feel frustrated or betrayed by their bodies in midlife. Urinary changes are often interpreted as loss of control. But this habit restores influence through cooperation rather than force. By teaching your body to release rather than brace, to trust instead of strain, you gradually rebuild both comfort and confidence. The lessons compound. The body remembers the sensation of relaxation. The bladder learns to empty more efficiently, and the nervous system recalibrates its response to fullness and urgency. Closing. A simple invitation. Tonight, or at your next bathroom visit, I invite you to try this. Inhale gently for 4 seconds. Exhale slowly for 6 to 8 seconds while relaxing your jaw and letting your pelvis soften. Begin urination without pushing. Pause for 10 seconds afterward. Exhale again and allow a second release if it occurs. It's simple, takes only about 30 extra seconds, and with consistent practice, your body can respond quickly. Over time, you may notice smoother streams, fewer repeat trips, calmer nights, and greater confidence in daily life. These habits are about comfort and efficiency, about giving the body a chance to work naturally and harmoniously. They are not about performance or perfection. They are about teaching your body a lesson it can remember and repeat. If you try this routine, pay attention to which symptoms bother you the most: nighttime trips, weak stream, urgency, or incomplete emptying, and share your experience. This helps guide future tips and ensures the strategies are tailored to the challenges you face most. With consistency, patience, and awareness, small changes can have a profound impact. The combination of mindful breathing, pelvic relaxation, pauses, and supportive lifestyle adjustments allows men to regain both physical comfort and confidence, proving that improvement is possible without invasive measures or high-stress routines. Over time, you may find that your daily life feels smoother, your nights more restful, and your body more cooperative, restoring a sense of calm, control, and ease in midlife and beyond.